So straight to the table today. I've had a few requests, quite a lot of comments actually since the Ranger video about the bracelet, specifically on the new Tudor Ranger 2022 and how it fits onto this bad boy here, the Black Bay 58. So I thought we'd go sort of through what we got in the way of dimensions and how the bracelets actually work. So there's the two watches. I'll throw up some measurements. I'll get the calipers out in a bit and we'll have a look at things, but yeah, there they are, both ticking away. Now I've been lucky enough to be able to get both of these, and if we start with the Ranger and have a look at some specs for this. So obviously I've done the video recently. This is the 12.2-ish depth there on the case for the Ranger, and the Black Bay 58. Sorry, this is really fiddly doing it under the camera. Little bit thinner there at 11.9. Lug to lug is the lug width, sorry, not lug to lug. Let me just reset. That is bang on 20. I'll actually do it right. It's always really fiddly doing it this way around. There you go, bang on 20 there for the lug width. And as you already know, it's going to be exactly the same here for the Black Bay 58. So far so similar, but where I've actually got most of the comments from is how the bracelets fit and how the connections are different down here. Now this is the bit that's going to be really fiddly. I'm going to try and take a measurement of where the lug hole is to the bottom of the lug there. I think that's a bit high actually. I'd measured it about 1 mil off camera. I'll see if I can sort of replicate it here. So if I squeeze it up, yeah, so it's about 1 mil for the middle of the lug hole, if not very technical at all, and about the same on the Black Bay, which is why I think I've been getting such a good fit from the Ranger bracelet onto the Black Bay 58. So now let's have a look at another dimension, which again not very technical with my shaky hands, but this is roughly the lug depth. So from the head of the watch out to the tip of the lug, getting about 7.2, 7.1 there on the Ranger. I think we're going to call that 7.2, floating around there with my shaky hands. And if we look at it on the Black Bay, again, not very scientific, but roughly 7.2. Again, I think that's pretty much bang on 7.2. It's floating around a little bit, but again, that's my shaky hand. And I think that's why we're getting such a comfortable fit when you swap the Ranger onto the Black Bay, and as I'll show you later, vice versa as well. So there we go. Anyway, so looking at them, I think the cases are identical apart from the bezel. Let's have a look at a bit of like for like. I mean, obviously you've got, let me just shine that up a little bit. Obviously you've got some polishing there on the Black Bay on the right, and it's brushed on the left for the Ranger. And if you flick them over, thankfully you don't have that big wodge of metal that you do on the Black Bay and the Black Bay Pro. I think it's a bit too much metal when I looked at it in the shop. But looking at those cases, apart from the bezel that sits on top of the 58 and the brush bezel that sits on top of the Ranger, I think you're looking at an identical set of measurements really. Well, at least as identical as I can tell using the calipers. So to have a look at them both then. I think even the backs are looking the same with the oyster back. I think it's called the oyster case. So I think to answer the question that I've been asked on YouTube quite a lot, I think that the cases are identical. So let's have a look at the bracelets. So here we go. The bracelets, the Ranger bracelet there at the bottom and the Black Bay at the top, both a certain amount of brushed on both bracelets, and the depth there is sort of about 5.8, which I did do off camera for the Black Bay 58, and it was spot on as well, 5.8. So I think we can all agree that the actual end links are the same, and that's why it's getting such a comfortable fit. But this is where the difference is. If you actually take that end female link off and measure the gap of the bracelet links inside, we get 10 mil there, bang on 10 mil for all the links that go through the bracelet coming away from the end link. And then if we move on to the 58, there you go, bang on 5.8. So that's the exact same set of specs for that, except for inside that female end link there, you've only got a gap of 9mm. And that's where the problem arises. So if you want to swap the bracelet out at the end links, you're not going to be able to do it. Although why you would, I'm not sure. So the other thing I thought of is perhaps you'd want to swap it here. Perhaps you like the faux rivet, but you want the bracelet, the clasp here from the Ranger. But again, all the way down, these links are 10mm. So you're not going to be able to swap the bracelets. You're going to have to, the clasp, you're going to have to swap the whole thing. And just to show you, if you look at the measurements there, all the way down on the Black Bay bracelet, they are a width of 9mm. So you're not going to be able to swap it at the clasp. You're going to have to swap all or nothing. So if you do like the faux rivets, but you like the Ranger clasp, then you're out of luck, I'm afraid. You're not going to be able to swap those out, but you can swap the whole thing. So now let's have a look at the spring bar. Now I did this because in the video I made last, I said that it was fiddly and that Black Bay would only accept its own spring bars, but I've since been able to do both. But just to check, I even measured the spring bar. So it's 22.4mm without me pushing down on and flexing the spring bar at all. On the Ranger spring bars, and here is the Black Bay spring bars. Well, just a sec, really fiddly doing this under the camera when you can't see. And again, without pressing those down, 22.4. So there we go. This is the Black Bay with the Ranger bracelet, as requested by quite a lot of people. Just polish that up a little bit, hang on. There we go. So the Black Bay 58 with the Ranger bracelet first of all. And here is the Ranger with the Black Bay 58 faux riveted bracelet, in case you wanted to wear it like that. I do like both, but you can't get away from how good that T-fit clasp is. So if I'm going to wear the Ranger or the Black Bay from now on, I'm sorry, but I think the faux rivets are redundant. And there they are back on their proper bracelets. So I guess what we can conclude from this, and thanks for asking for this in the comments, it's been a really interesting video to make, but I guess what we can conclude from this is that gap there between the lugs of the 58 and the Ranger, including the lug holes and where they're drilled and the height of everything, the depth of everything, is identical. And there we are with everything back the way it should be. The Ranger with the Ranger bracelet. And a lot of people had asked questions about that T-fit clasp, so I'll just show you that working a little bit as well. So it just slides up if you want extra links, in essence extra links, putting on and sits on those little nicks inside, or slides back down, as easy as that. Now, so there's 4 in there, each giving you about 2mm each, which add up to 8, which I think is pretty much the width of a whole link. So that's the T-fit clasp. And then back on wrist there. So yeah, it's had a lot of flag, it's had a lot of flat for the dead space on the dial. I really don't mind it. I think it makes it look clean and very legible. The faux Tina, I'm not bothered about that. I've seen it with a mock-up of white loom, and I really didn't like the look of that at all. I really quite like the old faux Tina. And just a quick loom shot indoors, just bounced off the sun, and there we go.